When I refused to invest in my brother-in-law's startup, he told my wife I was hiding assets and cheating. She packed a bag. I didn't defend myself until I got a copy of the text he sent her and the fake bank transfers he created. When I showed her the truth with the notary as a witness. I'm 41. I live in Fort Wayne, Indiana. My wife, Sarah, is 39. We've been married for 10 years, no kids. We had our ups and downs like every couple, but nothing that ever made me think we weren't solid. Her younger brother, Oscar, he's 32, is one of those guys who always has a new scheme. One year he was into flipping cars, next it was crypto, then real estate, now startups. I've never seen him hold a steady job longer than 6 months. But Sarah's always defended him. He just needs a chance, she says. About 2 months ago, Oscar invited me to a coffee shop near downtown. He said he had a business opportunity. He pulls out his tablet and starts showing me a pitch deck. I work in logistics. I've seen real business plans. This wasn't one. Just a bunch of buzzwords and fake numbers. He claimed he needed $20,000 to launch version 1 of the app. I told him straight, Oscar, I'm not giving you that kind of money. He pressed. You could loan it. Interest, whatever. You make good money. You don't even have to tell Sarah. That last part set off alarms. I'm not doing that, I said. This isn't personal. I'm just not throwing money at something I don't believe in. He gave me this look, like I'd spit in his face. A few days later, I get home and Sarah's standing in the living room, suitcase by the door. I'm going to my mom's, she says. What? Why? She looked heartbroken. Oscar told me everything. About the accounts. The cheating. The money you've been moving. My stomach dropped. What the hell are you talking about? She started crying. Don't lie to me. He showed me texts. Screenshots. Bank stuff. I told her I didn't know what she saw, but none of it was real. She wouldn't listen. She walked out and didn't even let me touch her. She didn't answer my calls for 3 days. I left her messages. Nothing crazy. Just, please talk to me. Then I called my friend Matt, a private investigator I'd used for a case at work. I need to know what Oscar sent Sarah. I think he faked it. Matt got to work. Within 2 days, he had everything. Oscar used a burner phone to send Sarah fake texts pretending to be me. He said stuff like, the Panama transfer went through. I moved the $30,000 like I said. You never pay attention to the things I'm hiding. That's on you. He also created fake banking screenshots with my name on top. The layout didn't even match my bank's app, but it looked real enough to fool someone emotional. Matt traced the burner's IP to Oscar's home Wi-Fi. I didn't go to Sarah right away. I wanted to bring this all out in one shot. I called my friend Jade. She's a notary public. I asked her to witness the evidence so Sarah wouldn't think I faked anything. We booked a meeting room in a shared office downtown. I made copies of every screenshot, every text, every document from Matt. Jade signed and sealed every page. Then I texted Sarah. Please meet me at 3 p.m. at 482 Franklin Street. Just hear me out. Please. She agreed. She walked in looking tired and unsure. She didn't sit. I didn't push. I handed her a folder. Jade sat next to me, quiet but official. These are texts Oscar sent you, I said. Not from me. From a burner. Traced back to his house. Here's the proof. She flipped through the papers. She recognized the text right away. This isn't your number. No. It never was. Then the banking screenshot. I showed her my real app. Different font. Different layout. Different everything. Jade notarized a statement confirming she had verified the source of the screenshots and text messages. Sarah didn't speak for a while. She just kept reading. Finally, she looked up. Why would he do this? I said, because I wouldn't give him money. And he thought maybe if you thought I was hiding stuff, you'd leave me. And he could get you to invest. Her hands shook. I could see it all hitting her. Sarah sat back in the chair, her face pale. She didn't cry, but her eyes were glassy. She whispered, I thought I knew him. He was just trying to protect me, I thought. But this, I nodded. He wasn't protecting you. He was using you. He figured if he wrecked your trust in me, he could take my place. You'd turn to him, and he'd be the one you'd trust with your money. She shook her head slowly. How long have you known he was behind this? A few days, I said. I didn't come to you right away because I wanted every piece. I didn't want you to think I made it up. I had to prove it. She looked at the folder in her lap like it weighed 100 pounds. This is proof. Then she asked me something I didn't expect. Did you ever think about divorcing me when I believed him? It hit me in the chest. No. But I knew if I didn't fight for the truth, he'd win. And that thought made me sick. She covered her face. He made me think you were scum. And I believed it. I didn't even let you explain. A week passed. Sarah moved back in. Things weren't perfect, but we were talking again. She was quieter than usual, but she was trying. I appreciated that. Then came another shock. Sarah got an alert from her credit card company. Someone had applied for a business loan using her social security number. $15,000, approved and pending deposit. She freaked out. Showed me the alert. I called the bank and froze the process. The application listed Midwest Agritech LLC as the business name, Oscar's fake startup. It wasn't over. He'd forged her name on a loan. We called our lawyer. This time, it wasn't just a family issue. It was federal. Oscar had committed identity theft. Fraud. He used her SSN and email to apply. Probably hoped to get the money before we caught it. We filed a police report. The bank's fraud department froze the account. The officer who took our report was stunned. Family did this? He asked. Yes, Sarah said. My brother. I could tell she was breaking inside. I said, this wasn't just about the app anymore. He was trying to destroy us financially. She nodded. And I was blind. Oscar didn't even deny it at first. When the police called him, he said, it's just a misunderstanding. I was trying to help Sarah get into investing. She gave me permission. We had proof she didn't. Emails, calls, texts. Then he tried to spin it. Said I was forcing Sarah to turn on him. Called her a manipulated victim. Sarah didn't take that well. She told him off in a voicemail and sent the transcript to the detective. I'm not a victim. You lied, forged, and tried to break my marriage. He didn't respond after that. I thought it was over after we filed the police report. I figured Oscar would disappear or finally back off. But no, he doubled down. A week later, I got served with papers. He was suing me. The document said I had defamed him and sabotaged his startup by spreading false allegations. At first, I thought it was a joke. Then I saw the letterhead. It was from a real attorney in Indianapolis. Sarah was speechless. He's really suing you? She asked, stunned. Looks like it, I said. He's not just trying to scam now. He wants revenge. We talked to our attorney. He looked through the lawsuit and said it was sloppy. Mostly empty threats, he said, but we'll have to show up. Still, it meant time, stress, and money. Sarah was livid. She said, he's doing this to punish you for not backing down. Then something else hit me. I dug into Oscar's business. I had Matt, my PI, look into the LLC. Turned out Oscar never filed any real paperwork for a functioning business. He had a registered name in Indiana, but no operations, no tax filings, no bank accounts tied to the company. Matt even found that Oscar had previously tried something similar in Kentucky under a different name and got caught in a civil suit for defrauding a friend. That's when it all clicked. This wasn't a one-time thing. It was a pattern. Oscar was a serial manipulator. Sarah's parents came over after they found out about the lawsuit. They were shocked and embarrassed. Her dad, Ron, said, we've made excuses for Oscar his whole life. I never thought it would lead to this. Her mom cried. We're sorry, truly. We never should have taken his side that night. They asked if we needed help with the legal bills. I declined, but I appreciated the offer. Sarah was quiet during most of the visit. After they left, she said, I feel like I never knew my own brother. Then, just as we were prepping for court, Matt found someone, an old friend of Oscar's named Travis who used to work with him on one of his businesses. Travis said Oscar bragged about what he did to me. Even showed him the fake banking screenshots before sending them to Sarah. He said he was going to ruin your image so he could pitch his business to Sarah without you in the way, Travis said. He agreed to testify. That was the moment I knew Oscar wasn't just reckless. He was cold, calculating. The day of the hearing came. It wasn't a full trial, just a preliminary session to see if the judge would let Oscar's lawsuit go forward. We walked into the courthouse in downtown Fort Wayne. Sarah held my hand tight. I could feel how tense she was. Oscar sat at the other table, wearing a wrinkled suit, fake confidence painted on his face. His lawyer looked annoyed, like he already knew what was coming. Our attorney went first. He presented everything: the fake texts, screenshots, the burner phone, the PI's report, the notarized documents, and the new witness, Travis. When Travis took the stand and said Oscar bragged about forging messages to frame me, I saw Oscar twitch. The judge leaned forward. He bragged about it? Yes, Your Honor, Travis said. He laughed. Said it would make Sarah leave, and he'd be her business partner instead. The courtroom went still. The judge didn't even let Oscar's lawyer finish. He dismissed the case on the spot. Then he turned to Oscar. You have wasted the court's time with a dishonest and malicious lawsuit. Be aware that the other side may pursue sanctions or a counterclaim. Oscar's face turned red. His lawyer whispered something and walked out, fast. That was only the beginning. Our attorney filed a counterclaim. Defamation, fraud, emotional distress, attorney's fees. At the same time, the police moved forward with the charges: identity theft, wire fraud, forgery, and using someone else's SSN to apply for a loan. Oscar tried to take a plea deal, but the judge rejected it. Said his actions showed intent to destroy lives. At sentencing, Sarah and I both gave statements. I said, this wasn't about money. This was about control. He tried to erase me from my own marriage using lies. Sarah said, he is not just my brother. He is the man who tried to make me hate my husband so he could take his place. Oscar was sentenced to 4 years in state prison. No bail, no leniency. The courtroom applauded when the judge read the sentence. Even the bailiff looked satisfied. While Oscar was in jail, more came out. He had other victims. People from Kentucky and Michigan came forward. Civil suits followed. His startup idea? Blacklisted from investor groups. His name is now on fraud alerts. He can't open a business account anywhere. Sarah's parents disowned him, told the family, he's not welcome in our home again. He has no support, no friends, just his name and a record. It took time, but Sarah and I healed. She started therapy. So did I. We rebuilt slowly, no pretending things were fine. We faced it all. I don't think either of us will ever forget what happened. But we survived it. Together. One night, over dinner, she said, I'm sorry I ever believed him. I told her, I'm just glad you saw the truth before it was too late. She smiled. We were stronger than his lies. And that was it. He tried to destroy our marriage to get a payday. Instead, he lost everything. We didn't just get justice. We got our peace back.